In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to code a hide-and-seek game where you're using your mouse as your seeker and you have a hidden object on the screen. We're just going to start by putting in a background, any color you want. Then we're going to make an ellipse at mouse X, mouse Y. Make sure to use a capital X and a capital Y. We'll make that 50 wide and 50 tall. And this is going to be our seeker. That's what's going to find our object that's hidden on the screen. I'm going to put in the no stroke command just to make it look a little neater. You can choose to do that or not. It's totally up to you. And the next thing we're going to do is make some variables. So we're going to go above function draw. We're going to make a variable for X, a variable for Y. And for X, we're going to make it random 0, 600. So this is going to make our hidden object appear at a random location. We'll do the same thing for Y with 0, 400, because that's how wide our X and our Y are. They go from 0 to 600 for X and 0 to 400 for Y. We're also going to make a variable called found and set that equal to false. We'll set that equal to true later on when we actually find our object that we're looking for. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to make it so that you get notes on the screen like hot, cold, warm. So for that, we're going to use distance. And we're going to say if the distance between mouse X, mouse Y, and X and Y, so our mouse and our hidden object, is less than 200, then what we want to happen is we want some text to come up on the screen that says hot. So we have our text on the screen that says hot, and we're going to put it in the upper left-hand corner. And so I'm going to put that at 100, 50. And I'm going to uncomment all of that so I can see what it looks like. And it's pretty small and really hard to read. So I'm going to add in some text formatting. I'm going to add in a text size that's a little bit bigger. And then I'm also going to put in a text font that's different. And for a text font, you can put in any web-based font. So you can Google web-based fonts, and they should work for the text font. The next thing I'm going to do is add in a fill command. I'm just going to make it white so it's easier to see on my dark background. All right, so we've got our text now, and it's much easier to read, and it's working for the hot command. So now we need to do the warm and the cold. And so we're going to make another distance formula right below the one that we just did. You could totally copy this. That's totally fine to copy and paste it and use that. But I would recommend just typing it out maybe the first couple of times just for practice. So we'll do another one. If distance between mouse X, mouse Y, and then X and Y. And for this one, we'll do the warm command. So that's going to be if it's less than 500. So inside of this, I'm going to do the text. I'm going to make it say warm, and I'm going to put it at the same place. All right, and then we'll test it out. And you can see that the hot and the warm can come up at the same time. That's because it's possible for the distance to be less than 500 and less than 200. And so anytime that hot is true, warm is also going to be true. So they'll be on top of each other. To do that, to fix this, I'm going to go down to where I did my distance for warm, and I'm going to add an and I'm going to make another distance. And the distance between mouse X, mouse Y, X and Y is less than, or greater than actually, 200. And so that makes it so that warm and hot aren't true at the same time. So now it's only working when it's between 500 and 200 instead of 500 to 0. So our hot is right, our warm is right, and we're going to make another one for cold. So we're going to do if the distance between mouse X, mouse Y, X and Y, same way we've done before. And then we're going to do if it's greater than 500. Then we want the text to come up that says cold, same place. All right, and let's test it out. So cold, warm, and hot. Perfect. And so it's not working right now for me to be able to find it. So that's the next thing that we need to do the code for. So to check if the distance between them is less than a certain amount, that'll make it so that it's found. So we're going to use distance yet again, getting a lot of practice with distance. If the distance between mouse X, mouse Y, X, and Y is, let's say, less than 50, then what we want to happen is we want our object to be found, right? So we're going to make our object actually appear. So I'm going to use a text command. Oh, actually, I'm going to make this found equals true. Let's do found equals true, and then we'll tell it what to do if found equals true. So if the distance between mouse X and mouse Y and X and Y is less than 50, then found will equal true. And then we're going to make a text at X, Y. And that text, you can use an emoji for this. So you can go to your settings, turn on your emoji picker, choose an emoji. I'm just going to put in a smiley face because emojis don't work very well on my computer. They might not work very well on yours. So now you can see it's coming up and it looks a little bit funny in the font that I chose. So I'm going to change the text font to Times New Roman, another web-based font that you can use. And maybe I'll change the fill as well so it doesn't blend in with the circle. Yeah, I think I'll change the fill to black. So right above it, I'll just do fill in parentheses 0. And let's see if it's a little easier to use now. Perfect. So things that you can do to make this look a little bit better, to make it more playable, we'll make a little message come up when it's if found equals true. Then we'll have it say congrats or you won or something like that. I'm going to do you won and put it on the screen just kind of towards the middle. 300, 200. So now when you find the object, it'll say you won. Awesome. So this game is really easy to modify to, add in some new steps to make it really polished and look really good. So you could add in, when you win, you could add a button to restart the whole game, which would be super cool. You could make it so that there's multiple objects that you have to find in a short amount of time. That would be a fun variation of this game. There's a lot of different ways that you can change this one to make it a new, different game. So I would recommend creating a button to restart the game, but make sure that you reset your X and Y variables to random and then the numbers that come after that.